We're talking to you today because you're probably preparing for your visit to Provincetown, where you're starring in not one, but two plays at the Tennessee Williams Play Festival this fall. The first one is a well-known play. It's the Glass Menagerie. So do you want to give us a tiny update about what that's about and what part you're playing?
Sure. Glass Menagerie, as you said, it's one of the big three, they say, which is Glass Menagerie, Cat in the Hobson Roof, and Streetcar. Glass Menagerie is Tennessee Williams' first Broadway hit, and it's about this insular little family, a mother and her son and her daughter. And they're all kind of living together in this tiny little apartment in St. Louis. And the mother is desperate for her children to not be like how they are at that moment. Her children they've both got their issues. They've both got all this stuff running around in their heads, and their mom is just desperate to get both of them out of those headspaces, kind of. So I'm playing the gentleman caller, Jim.
How are you? I thought you were going to play the same song. Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing about our two productions, which I'll get into in
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
minute. But
Yeah.
no, I'm playing the gentleman caller, so he only shows up. Well, he kind of appears as a specter figure very briefly throughout the first half of the show, and then he actually shows up for just the last two scenes, which is the famous scene where he and Laura have this long conversation about the glass animals and school, and it all kind of seems a very meandering for a while until all of a sudden there's the climax of the scene, and then you realize that all the subtext has been happening underneath.
Yeah. It's a great
So,
piece, but as it's so famous, we have high expectations.
yes, well, it is so famous to the point where people, I think a lot of these, and a lot of our audience tends to be people who really love Tennessee Williams and know it well. So I'm expecting a lot of the people to have kind of a pretty good sense of
Yeah.
even the specific words and the speeches in the show. So I'm sitting here thinking, I got to get this stuff word perfect, or Albert's going to sit there going, hang on, he said should have instead of would have there.
Yeah. But one of the sheer joys of this festival is they don't just produce these famous pieces, but the unknown pieces. And the second piece is fascinating. Well, not the first person. Something Cloudy, Something Clear from 1940, written by Williams here in P-Town, set in P-Town, and is about his first love, which I'm guessing maybe you.
Yes, that is. I do play because each piece has a sort of a Tennessee Williams insert character,
Yeah.
the auto bio character. I'm playing the love interest to each of those characters.
Tell me, without giving it away, because I don't know this piece, tell me a little about it.
So, as you said, it is set. Where's my copy? Here it is. It is set in 1940 in P-Town, based on the summer that he spent there in 1940, but he actually wrote it in 1981.
Oh,
So
really?
almost 40 years after he wrote Glass Menagerie. But in this piece, the main character, August, is a much clearer representation of Tennessee Williams as a young man in the 40s. It's very direct, right down to the fact that the love interest, who I'm playing, Kip, is named Kip in the show, and his actual real first love was also named Kip. So it draws very clear lines in the sand, so to speak, which is funny because it's set in the dunes.
Yeah, we know about the dunes. I'm very impressed for the fact alone. I couldn't remember a relationship of 40 years ago in such detail. What do you love about playing in a Williams play?
Well, I mean, obviously, I could say the language, right? Everyone loves the language. He's got such a specific ear and tone that is very apparent right away. But even more than that, I love that the stakes, oftentimes, I think a lot of the problems I have with modern contemporary plays is writers will design them so that there's this big event at the end. And then the beginning part, they're all kind of putting the pieces together. And I feel like a lot of the times it just kind of meanders its way towards the end. And Williams plays are never like that. The stakes are always instantly high right from the get-go. The very first two lines in the show, you already know who August is. You see Kip come on stage. There's immediate tension. And then it's like, bang, and then we're going. So having that constant, and that's been one of the challenges and also the joys, having that constant, like, how do we take this scene that starts at a 10 and keep it at a 10 all the way across? Because there's no room, there's no allowances for us to relax a little bit. Okay, we're just going to take this part easy. It doesn't happen like that. So that's one of the really brilliant things about a lot of Tennessee Williams' work, I think, is that he just every one of his characters is living at the edge of a cliff the whole show.
So should we assume you're not a P-Town virgin?
I'm not, no.
I mean professionally.
Well, technically, no. Last summer at the Tennessee Williams Festival, I worked with not Marcel Marceau, Fred Abrahamsey and Marcel Meyer.
A wonderful pair from
Wonderful.
South Africa. We
Yes,
love their work.
the South Africans.
Totally
We
love
love their work. They were doing a couple of short pieces, and I had a little tiny part in which I said 3 lines and tried to stab a queen. So
a queen or a queen, yeah.
A queen, yes.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of them
was my
here.
first foray into being a professional actor in P-Town, which was lovely.
A professional actor. Because when you come into P-Town, you have a choice, 2 choices, to fall in love with the town or the person, or maybe both. But this is proving quite the year for you because your second movie, Janet Planet, has just been released. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting. Yes, it's so funny because I had a very small part in this movie. I only shot for one single day, the very last day of shooting. I showed up, did my scenes, left, and that was almost 2 years ago. So it almost feels like it was this little project I did, but now it's out in theaters, and I'm getting texts from people I went to high school with that said, "We just saw this movie and your face was in it." Like,
and you're getting good billing in it, because I thought you were a mega star in it. You got the 3rd billing or something, which is very impressive.
That's another funny thing is, no, I only have about a scene that's about 2 minutes long. But the producers decided on IMDb to do the top billing in order of appearance, which I've never seen before.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not complaining.
So
it looked like I'm the megastar.
Don't give it all away because I've seen the trailer. Just tell me a little bit about how fabulous Janet Planet is.
It's absolutely it's a piece that really captures a time and a place so perfectly. I don't know if you know who Annie Baker is.
No, I don't.
Saying that for your general audience, I'm sure you know who Annie Baker is.
The actress who plays her is
the actress who plays the main character is Julianne Nicholson.
Wonderful performance.
She's fantastic. Yes. So the movie focuses on Julianne Nicholson's character Janet and her relationship with her 11-year-old daughter Lacey, who's played by this girl Zoe Ziegler, who they found never acted before, and she just gives like a complete powerhouse performance. She's like a natural born talent. It's amazing. How Lacey sees her mother through her mother's different relationships, and almost like how Lacey is falling out of love with her mother through this summer. So
in my book, child actors should be greatly applauded or slapped.
Or probably both.
Yes, I'll put it both. But now, before you go, I read up on your resume and I saw 2 things which took my attention. One was the fact you claim to do a mean British accent.
A mean British accent.
But I didn't want to ask you to do it in case I hated it, because I also see you've got several belts in karate.
Yes, I have done karate for 20 years now.
It's an odd combination. When you're doing a karate, you don't practice your English. You're British.
No, we really only speak in Japanese during karate.
Well, there won't be much room to do that. I think that's the one sport we have missing here in P-Town. But we're looking forward to seeing you and the festival, which will be very soon.
Yes, it's really coming up now, and I've been, reviewing my lines every day, but it's real. It's coming, and I'm very excited.
We're all excited too. So thank you for talking to us, and we look forward to see you in the flesh in September.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, Roger.
You're welcome.
And I will see you in September.